Dear learners, welcome to NI Studio. Today we'll discuss about major social problems in India. भारत की मुख्य समस्याएं क्या है? सपोज आपको पूछा जाए कि आपके लिए सबसे बड़ी समस्या क्या है, या आपका समाज जिस समाज में आप रहते हैं वहाँ पे सबसे बड़ी समस्या क्या है? मुझे पता है आप बोलेंगे कि नहीं, कोविड-19 सिचुएशन, ये तो सिचुएशन अब का है। क्योंकि कोविड-19 सिचुएशन के साथ भी बहुत सारा चीज़ जुड़ा हुआ है, जिसके लिए हम बोलते हैं कि ये बहुत बड़ी समस्या हमारे लिए है। जैसे आप पहले बताएँगे कि इलिटरेसी एक बहुत बड़ा समस्या है, क्योंकि आप देखिए इंडिया बोलते हैं बहुत वी आर मार्चिंग टुवर्ड्स विद बीइंग ए डेवलप्ड नेशन, एंड वी हैव टेकन लॉट ऑफ स्टेप फॉर डेवलपमेंट, बट the most important thing is that illiteracy is the major issue for all of us. Second, we'll discuss about population explosion. Third, we'll talk about poverty as an important issue. देन विल ऑल्सो एक्सप्लेन करप्शन एज एन एवल। जैसे हम वो बताते हैं कि देश में तो इतना विकास, इतना प्लान्स प्रोग्राम चलता है, देन वाई इट इज़ नॉट गिविंग द फ्रूट। क्यों हम लोगों को हर हर तरह का सुविधा मिल नहीं पा रहा है? गवर्नमेंट इतना प्रोग्राम्स प्लान्स करते फिर भी क्यों नहीं? क्योंकि करप्शन एक बहुत बड़ी इशू है। जितना भी डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम्स होता है उसमें से क्या होता है, बहुत सारा जो रियल बेनिफिशियरी उनको पास पहुंच नहीं पाता है। इसलिए हम डिस्कस करें करप्शन एज एन इविल प्रैक्टिस। Then we'll discuss about poverty and its causes. So we'll discuss these problem one by one, but I'll request all of you that if you have any doubt at any point of time, you can call us in the number that is given in the television set. Second thing, I'll request all of you that you be vigilant whenever I may give some assignment to, so then you can send the answer to me through my email address. The email address that I have already given you can note it down, like sukandamahapatra@nis.ac.in or aosoci@nis.ac.in. It should not be a one-sided interaction. It should be both-sided. We have Swayam platform, we have Swayam Prabha channel, so if you'll interact more with us, then we can be able to provide more and more services to all of you. Now let us discuss the issue one by one. First we'll discuss illiteracy, second we'll discuss about population explosion, third we'll discuss about corruption as an evil practices, and fourth we'll discuss about poverty. So who is literate? You know, every 10 year we do census. In Indian society we do census. So in every census, the major consideration is to analyze what is the literacy rate, what is the population. So that is the benchmark for us. So every 10 years, accordingly, we do 5-year plan. We do whatever plan we do for in the country for the development, that mostly depend on the census. What census says, how census define literacy? A person aged 7 and above who can both read and write with understanding in any language is treated as literate. ये नहीं होता है कि नहीं आप स्कूल के तभी आपको लिटरेट माना जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं है। आपको सपोज पढ़ना आता है, लिखना आता है और आप एनी लैंग्वेज समझ सकते हो, तो यू कैन ऑल्सो बी कंसिडर्ड एज लिटरेट. So now we'll understand what is why literacy is essential for development. First, you know, we have constitution has fundamental rights and duties. So if a person knows its rights and duties, then development will happen. Suppose आपको एक एग्जांपल बताता हूँ कि आपको एजुकेशन पर राइट टू एजुकेशन है, लेकिन लोगों को पता नहीं होता, लोगों को सोचते नहीं, पैसा पैसा खर्च करें तभी हम पढ़ पाएंगे। लेकिन सपोज जिसको पता है कि राइट्स एंड ड्यूटीज़ के बारे में, वो जो गवर्नमेंट का जो स्कीम्स प्रोग्राम्स, दे कैन टेक बेनिफिट। जैसे दिल्ली में या बहुत मेट्रो सिटीज़ में बहुत सारे जो लोग हैं, दे आर इकोनॉमिकली वीकर सेक्शन ऑफ सोसाइटी, तो उनको लगता है तो हम शहर शहर में पढ़ेंगे तो हमें पढ़ने के लिए लिटरेसी, हमारे पास तो पैसा नहीं है। बट वी हैव ऑल्सो स्कीम राइट टू एजुकेशन वेयर द प्राइवेट स्कूल इज बाउंड टू admit 25% people from EWS quota, economically weaker section of society. आपके शहर में हो, आपका विलेज एरिया में हो, आप ऐसे एक कंपैरिजन की, जो लिटरेट है जो नॉन लिटरेट है, आप उनको पूछिए आपको पता है आपका राइट पता है, तो मैं भी बता नहीं पाएंगे। आप जो लिटरेट बंदा के बजाय उनको सब पता हो। इसलिए आप देखिए जो गवर्नमेंट का स्कीम्स एंड प्रोग्राम्स होता है, those who are literate they are taking more benefit than those who are illiterate. तो इसलिए लिटरेसी बहुत एसेंशियल है. Then care for health and nutrition. If a person knows the the proper food and nutrition, you may find that he or she is more healthier than the person who is illiterate. Then वही फिर बात है, ये गवर्नमेंट का बहुत सारा स्कीम्स एंड प्रोग्राम्स है, यू लिटरेट है दे नो वेरी वेल यूजुअल. जैसे अभी कोविड-19 सिचुएशन में बहुत सारे गवर्नमेंट का स्कीम्स एंड प्रोग्राम्स है, जैसे आत्मनिर्भर भारत हो गए, ये बहुत सारे ऐसे स्कीम्स प्रोग्राम्स है. सपोज उनको नहीं पता है सो दे कैन नॉट टेक बेनिफिट आउट ऑफ इट. जैसे गवर्नमेंट का ऐसे बहुत सारे जैसे अभी कोविड-19 के ऊपर बहुत सारा ऐसे मैसेज जाता है जो सतर्क करने के लिए. बहुत सारा जो लिखित आकार में भी आता है और हिंदी या इंग्लिश मीडियम भी आता है. तो आप सोचिए जी लिखित आकार में जो आता है, सपोज जिनके पास लिटरेसी है नहीं तो उनको नहीं पता होगा. सो वी कैन से लिटरेसी एंड डेवलपमेंट is related to each other. Similarly, gainful employment. There is a survey. Those who have higher education qualification, they are getting more employment, and those who have low education qualification, they get less employment. आप केरला का बात देख लीजिए, तो वहाँ पे क्या है केरला में, तो वहाँ पे those who are because how they are more developed because they have already educated, they got education, whether male or female both are educated, so they are getting more employment. जैसे आप देखिए उनका वही स्टेट का बहुत सारे लोग दुबई में है, यूएई में है, गल्फ कंट्रीज में, सो दे आर गेटिंग मोर एंड मोर रेवेन्यूज. So you can say that the state which more literate, they are the more advantageous and they are getting more employment. So they are contributing for development of the state and also for the nation. Then it also educates the future generation. अब देखिए आपका जो अड़ोस पड़ोस में है, आपका सोसाइटी में से 10 लोगों को आप सर्वे कीजिए. आप सर्वे करके देखिए कि जिन्होंने 10th तक पढ़ा है वो उनको जो बच्चों को 12th तक पढ़ाते हैं या ग्रेजुएशन करते हैं, पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन कराते हैं. और जिनके पास लो एजुकेशन क्वालिफिकेशन है वो सोचते हैं क्या करें पढ़ा के, तो इतने पढ़े लिखे तो उनको तो क्या करें. तो वहाँ पे एक क्वेश्चन मार्क की डाउट उनके ऊपर आता है कि सपोज मैं तो खुद नहीं पढ़ा लिखा, कितना पढ़ा पाऊँगा, लेकिन पढ़ा रहे हैं. बट इफ यू कंपेयर बिटवीन द लिटरेट एंड इलिटरेट, विल फाइंड दैट दोज हू आर लिटरेट they are giving more educational opportunity to their children. They learn more about scientific skills. जैसे साइंटिफिक बहुत सारा स्किल है, इफ आर लिटरेट यू कैन ऑल्सो एबल टू engage them. And also they also contribute for the poverty alleviation program. If you'll compare between states, you'll find out those states who have highest literacy, they are more developed than the state who has less literate people in their state. So we'll see one by one, we'll go one by one. So when we'll do the presentation, you'll be able to more clearer because we are also giving the data how to support the different things. Let us come to literacy rate. What is the literacy status of India? You'll find out in 1951 only 18.3% of population were literate, and now it is 74.04. But if you will make a analysis between male and female gap, you'll find that is a very drastic, because it was 18.3 in 1951, and in 1981 it was 26.6, and then 1991 is 24.8, and so the gap got increased year by year because the male got more literate and female are less literate. But it has more implication for the development of the country. जिससे महात्मा गांधी बताए हैं कि सपोज एक जो मेल पर्सन लिटरेट होता है तो वो कुछ लोगों को करता है, लेकिन जब एक फीमेल लिटरेट होते हैं तो वो पूरा समाज को लिटरेट करते हैं, अपने फैमिली को लिटरेट करते हैं और उनका एजुकेशन बढ़ता है. सो ही हैज़ वेरी मच राइट व्हाट आई हैव सीन थ्रू आउट ईयर्स. अब देखिए 2001 के बाद ही कम हुआ है, अदरवाइज आप देखिए 18.3 प्लस 26.6 हुआ 1981 में, फिर 24.8 हुआ, फिर 2001 में थोड़ा कम हुआ, बट 2011 में सबसे ज़्यादा कम हुआ, दैट इज द गैप वाज ओनली 16.68%. So the female literacy was 8.9 in 1951, now it is 65.46. So we have marched ahead. So it did not happen in a single day, it happened throughout years because government has come with many literacy programs throughout years. They provided financial incentive, they also take a social strategy how to reach this group of people. As I told you, the how it was, the gap was 18.3 in 1951, and in 1971 it's 25.1, 1960 it's 25.1, 1971 it was 24%, and if you look at 2011 it was 16.6%. Then if you look at the state-wise variation, you will find there is a drastic changes happened. There are states like Kerala, they have done very well, but there are states like Bihar and Rajasthan, their status is still very low. So therefore, you can find the state who are more developed, they have more literate population. Now let us अब look at the rural urban literacy gap. आपको पता होगा कि हमारा जो पॉपुलेशन है more rural and less urban. If we talk about India, it was 64.8 in 2001, in 2011 it was 74.0. So 74.0 crore. So you just find out that there is only 9.2 crore population added in these years. If we talk about rural population, it was 50.8.7, then 60.8.9. So there is a difference of 10 plus 2, 10.2 was the addition in between in last 10 years. So the rural urban literacy gap has decreased to 16.1% from 21.1% in 2001. So we can say that there was a massive addition in literacy between 2001 and 2011. It is due to lot of effort from both government and non-government organizations. As I told you, now you can look at the state-wise variation in literacy rate. You see Bihar at the bottom level, it is a 63.8, and if you look at Kerala, it is 93.9. So only 6.1% of Kerala population need to be literate in comparison to 36.2% from Bihar. Then you say 67.1% from Rajasthan, then 67. So we can just map out how a state like Kerala, Goa are much developed than the Bihar and Arunachal Pradesh and Rajasthan like states. So as I told you, literacy and development has a lot of relation between both of them. That is very clearer when you look at these pictures. So dear student, you can also look at your state literacy rate. You can also map out the literacy rate of your district, and then why your district is, whether your district is doing far better than the state or not, you can map out. So I hope you will also send a mail to me saying that this is the state literacy, this is the district literacy of my area. So now we can look at the data, how female literacy is in both Rajasthan and in other states. Like if you look at this data, you'll find Rajasthan has 52.66% literacy rate, Bihar has 53.33 population, Jharkhand 56.21%, and Kerala it has like 91.98%, and Goa is 81%. You just look at, see in the bottom 5, if when you look at the overall literacy rate, Uttar Pradesh is not in the bottom 5. But if you look at the female literacy rate, you'll see it is at the bottom 5, 59.26%. So here, if you say the Uttar Pradesh is not developing much, so here female literacy counts a lot. You see, in overall literacy, they are not in the bottom 5, but when it comes to female literacy, it is 59.26%. So that really indicates how female literacy is much more important for the development of a country. As I told you, like you see, not only women's education is important for the population growth and development, it is also important for the economy, it is important for the polity, it is important for the developing social fabric of the state or country. So here you can see there are 5 states: Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal and Maharashtra. They account for 53% of all business establishment owned by women nationwide, although more than 33% of India's women live in these states. अब देखिए, मतलब ये जो 5 स्टेट्स में है, ओनली इंडिया का 33% जो महिलाएँ रहते हैं। बट आप जब उनको देखेंगे, उनका कंट्रीब्यूशन क्या है, आप देखिए, दे आर कंट्रीब्यूटिंग 53% ऑफ द होल एजुकेशन बिजनेस एस्टेब्लिशमेंट बाय वुमेन. So they count 4.3 million population. So you see how the only 33% people are contributing for 53% of business establishment. And similarly, as I told you that the state who has more literacy, they are contributing less to population growth of this country, which is much needed for the country, as we are going to surpass China as the largest populated country in the world. But what are the causes of illiteracy? One is poverty, one is population growth, one is lack of awareness, and one is improper implementation of educational development programs. So I am here only highlighting the major regions of illiteracy, but there are also n number of regions which either directly or indirectly, in larger manner and smaller manner, contributing for the illiteracy. So we have to be very. So I am giving another assignment to you, so you can be able to figure out what are other regions, and then you can also send a note to me, so that I can know that you are watching this program and you are contributing we are also contributing it for it. एक आंकड़ा आया है जहाँ पे ये बोला जा रहा है कि girls belonging to families in the top 20% get 9 years of education on average, while girls from families bottom 20 get none at all. जो bottom 22% of जो फैमिली जिनका इनकम बहुत ही कम है, उनका जो लड़की हैं वो स्कूल नहीं जाते हैं, और जो टॉप 10-20% वो उनका जो एवरेज है वो 9 years. So you can just figure out 9 years of education, how is important for the development of a country, and how the income determines your education, your literacy. That's all. And then if you look at that I told you that the female and male education gap. Now I'm coming to the social group education. If we'll make there are data that tells that there are number of scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, they are more dropout than the other group of learners like OBC and general group of learners. Why it is happening? Do you know there is a vicious cycle of poverty? आपके पास पैसा नहीं, आप सोचिए, पहले तो आप सोच ही नहीं सकते मैं स्कूल भेजूँ या ना भेजूँ. फिर जब भेजते हैं, because no doubt government is providing free education where you are getting uniform, but there are also a number of expenditure which the tribal parents has to bear the burden. Because आप जब देखते हैं कि पहले तो ये दिमाग में आता है ट्यूशन के बिना पढ़ ही नहीं सकते. जब ट्यूशन के बात आता है तो ये आता है मैं कहाँ से पैसा लाऊं. और ऐसे बहुत सारे पेरेंट्स होते हैं जो आप ट्राइबल एरिया में चले जाइए, आप वहाँ पे देखिए उनके पास खाने के लिए पैसा नहीं, तो हाउ दे कैन थिंक ऑफ अबाउट गिविंग एजुकेशन टू देयर चिल्ड्रेन. सो दे थिंक दैट इफ़ द चाइल्ड गेट एम्प्लॉयमेंट, सपोज उनका जो बच्चा है उनके साथ काम करते हैं, तो दे विल गेट सम एम्प्लॉयमेंट एंड दे कैन उनको खाने पीने के लिए मिल जाएगा. सो दे आर नॉट एबल टू, इवन दे आर नॉट एबल टू थिंक दैट वेदर विल सेंड देम स्कूल और नॉट. और शेड्यूल्ड का शेड्यूल्ड ज़्यादा क्यों ड्रॉप आउट होते हैं? आज भी बहुत सारी जगह में अनटचेबिलिटी आज भी प्रैक्टिस में है. when they go to school, they are discriminated by teachers, they are discriminated by their fellow students, they are discriminated by the local community members also. So you will find that more and more dropout in case of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, and they are more poverty stricken than other group of people. So therefore poverty and illiteracy is much more related to each other. So that is one region. And second thing is that population growth. As I told you, there is huge population, but as population, whether we have sufficient teachers or not, whether we have sufficient school or not, whether we are providing quality schooling or not, that is very important. So because population is, we have massive populations, we are not able to provide mass education in a proper manner. If we look at the pupil teacher ratio, we have norm Right to Education Norm 2015-16 defines that there should be 30 school in a pupil teacher ratio, that should 30:1 होना चाहिए, जहाँ पे मतलब हर 30 बच्चे में एक टीचर होना चाहिए। लेकिन आज है क्या? उससे एक बहुत ही कम है। तो अभी भी जो 31 मार्च 2016 तक जो आंकड़ा है उसमें 9.8 लाख टीचर वैकेंसीज अभी भी है। आप सोच सकते हैं सपोज वहाँ में एक गवर्नमेंट स्कूल में टीचर है नहीं और सपोज एक ही टीचर है और 5 क्लास में पढ़ा रहे हैं। आप ये देखिए पुपिल टीचर रेशियो हुआ है, लेकिन जब क्लासरूम टीचर रेशियो देखें वो नंबर और घट जाएगा, क्योंकि आप जो स्कूल में जाएंगे दैट इज़ ए मल्टी ग्रेड टीचिंग, लाइक there is one teacher who is teaching in a five classes. So we can think about if the teacher is not there, then how the students is going to get education. So population is the major factor, because the way population is growing, we are not appointing the teachers as it has to be. तो इसे लो स्कूल टू जो स्टूडेंट रेशियो वो भी बहुत कम है। आप देखिए बहुत सारा जगह में लड़कियां क्यों नहीं जा पाती, इससे बहुत सारे ये जो स्कूल आसपास है नहीं और उनको जंगल के रास्ते में जाना होता है, तो वहाँ पे पेरेंट्स देखते हैं बिकॉज द सेफ्टी एंड सिक्योरिटी इज़ द utmost प्रायोरिटी फॉर एवरी पेरेंट, सो दे डोंट सेंड देयर चाइल्ड टू द स्कूल। देयर इज इशू ऑफ सिक्योरिटी, देयर इज इशू ऑफ सेफ्टी. You'll find that a massive number of students or girls also drop out because there is no proper sanitation in that school. There is no proper toilet. बस टॉयलेट होने से जेंडर इक्विटी नहीं हो जाता है. देयर शुड बी सेपरेट मेल एंड फीमेल टॉयलेट एंड द टॉयलेट शुड बी वेरी क्लीन. you'll be astonished to know that उससे वैसे बहुत सारा स्टूडेंट्स ड्रॉप आउट होते हैं क्योंकि वहाँ पे प्रॉपर सैनिटरी फैसिलिटीज़ है नहीं स्कूल में. क्वालिटी स्कूलिंग ऑल्सो मेजर फैक्टर नाउ. आज सबको यही लगता है पेरेंट्स ऑफ I did a survey in tribal area of Odisha. I did there. My topic is research topic was on that. Their parents don't have much income, but उनको लिए ये था कि क्वालिटी एजुकेशन होना चाहिए. स्कूल में तो पढ़ाया नहीं जाता है तो स्कूल भेज के फ़ायदा क्या. इट इज़ बेटर दैट आवर child get employment somewhere. If they get employment, then we'll get livelihood. ऐसे पढ़ के फ़ायदा क्या है. ऐसे बहुत सारा क्वेश्चन पेरेंट्स में आता है. आइदर उनको लगता है आइदर लो फी प्राइवेट स्कूल जहाँ पे इंग्लिश जहाँ पे सिखाए तो वहाँ पे पढ़ाए या नहीं तो ना पढ़ाए. सो दैट इज देयर इज मेजर आइदर पढ़ाएं तो अच्छे से पढ़ाए आइदर नहीं पढ़ाए. ये सबसे बड़ी एक लंबे डिबेट चल रहा है जिसकी वजह से हम बोल सकते हैं कि पॉपुलेशन ग्रोथ इज अ मेजर फैक्टर फॉर व्हिच वी हैव मैसिव there is massive we are not able to get more literate. After a year you find out now after COVID-19 situation the situation has become more drastic. You'll find out that suppose जिसको class 7 के suppose जिसको 6 साल हो गए, now he or she has to enroll in the class 1. If they are not, since they are not getting education, so they because there is no proper channel. Suppose आज तो urban area में they have the internet, they can use internet, they can make people study there. But if we talk about the tribal area जहाँ पे एक पेरेंट्स अपने लाइवलीहुड के लिए स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं, आप वहाँ पे बोलेंगे कि नहीं उनका पढ़ना मोबाइल में होना चाहिए. सो दैट इज़ वेरी that cannot be said, that cannot be gainsaid, that cannot be gainful. We cannot say that's a gainful judgment where you can say that नहीं जो आदिवासी एरिया के जो बच्चे हैं वो भी मोबाइल में पढ़े जबकि उनके पास टेलीविजन ही नहीं है. दे हैव डोंट हैव बेसिक एसेट्स. हाउ दे विल गेट एजुकेशन. दैट इज अ मेजर चैलेंज.
करने राहों को आलोकित करने. जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने. हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने हम, अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
अपना जीवन स्वयं बने हम, अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो,
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
मित्रों हम उठे और जागे,
मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने हम, अपना जीवन स्वयं बने हम, अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय का है द्वार खुला सबकी खातिर।
शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर।
शिक्षा और परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर। दुनिया में इसके केंद्र बहुत,
कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने हम, अपना जीवन स्वयं बने हम, अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने हम, स्वयं बने हम,
Dear learners, till now we have discussed about how illiteracy is a social problem for India and how India is struggling through low literacy states and how because and literacy and development is much more related to each other. So if we have to develop the country, we have to develop a state. So literacy is much more essential. So, but why literacy is not happened as it has expected? Government has invested a lot on education. Government has invested on much on literacy, but why the literacy rate and education qualification is less in much more in some in case of female or scheduled caste, scheduled tribe? As I told you, population growth is affecting the literacy and education of the country. As I told you, low school to student ratio and teacher availability and quality schooling is the major factor. Lack of quality schooling is the major factor which has affected the educational literacy of the country. As I told you, quality schooling will only happen when there is sufficient number of teachers, sufficient number of educational infrastructure there. If there is no ICT facilities in the school, then how they can be able to get quality education? As we are planning for the sustainable development goals, as you know, we are already Millennium Development Goals has already gone. India is not able to achieve the target, but now we have Sustainable Development Goals, which says that education and sustainable development should go together, where gender is the major component and education is the major component, which says that there should be both male and female should get adequate schooling. Like the gap that was the gap between gender, male and female education was there since ages has to be breached. As I told you, the male literacy and female literacy and education is much more important for the development of the country. As I told you, how population growth is affecting the educational development, because you know there are 9.6 lakh, 9.06 lakh teachers are really needed till 31st March 2016, but there are vacancies. The vacancies are not being filled. Yeah, dear learners, till now we discussed about how illiteracy is a social problem of India and how education literacy is affected by population growth, poverty, and now we'll discuss about the different educational policies and programs. You know, Kothari Commission was constituted in 1964 and 1966, which aims at, which has recommended for equalizing educational opportunity. That means whether they are scheduled caste, they are scheduled tribes, whether they are female, whether they are in hilly areas, everyone should get quality education. But that was not achieved because of multiple constraints. Then in 1986, National Policy in Education was framed, which has also stated for the development of education of the country. There are some gaps which has to be filled where the female and all group of population should get education. The issues of access, equity and quality was also addressed in National Policy in Education 1930. Then district primary education program also came in 1994. That has also the same goal, like achieving literacy and education and providing education to all. Then in 2001, we had Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, which really came to achieve the Millennium Development Goal, but that also not, that has really helped a lot, through which we also got number of schemes and programs like Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalaya in tribal areas. There also national policy and education for the girls, also national program NPGL. Then right to education also came into being, where it was said that every child has the right to education, and they can that is the state has to provide adequate opportunity so that everyone get education. Now we have Rashtriya Madhyamika Shiksha Abhiyan. After the successful nation of Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, Rashtriya Madhyamika Shiksha Abhiyan came into being, which has the objective that education should be provided to all at the secondary level of education. So, but even that was no doubt government had, there was a number of programs in which it was, the effort was made that everyone should get education irrespective they belong to scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, female, they belong to hilly areas or any group of population. So, no doubt through government schemes and provisions, like you know, there was Navodaya Vidyalaya Samiti, Kendriya Vidyalaya Samiti, there is like state, there are many states, they are also running tribal schools in the tribal areas. The center has, there are also center sponsored schemes which guarantees that education be provided to each and every person. Like if you go to tribal area, you will find there are many Ekalavya Vidyalayas, there are many ashram schools. They have really done wonders in providing education to people, but you know, there are many lacunas, like people are not, there is lack of awareness, there is lack of, people did not get the advantage of the schooling. So due to many reasons, there are many dropouts. So in that case, role of open schooling came into picture. If you look at the National Policy on Education 1986, it has recommended that there is an open schooling mechanism where those who drop out from the school education, they also get education. But now open schooling is playing a very vital role, not only strengthening access, equity and quality, it is also, it has going beyond that. If you look at access issue, there are many disabled persons, they are not able to get access education in the formal education system. अब अभी भी जाके देखिए, आप सर्वे निकाल के देखिए, उसमें हम सर्वे में देखेंगे ऐसे बहुत सारे डिसेबल्ड पर्सन से दे आर नॉट literate yet. They are not able to go to school because due to multiple barriers. अभी भी आपको बहुत सारा स्कूल मिलेंगे, बहुत सारे स्कूल मिलेंगे जहाँ पे आप देखिए रैंप नहीं है उनके लिए, जो स्पेशल एजुकेशन टीचर नहीं होते हैं वहाँ पे। सो इफ़ द इफ़ देयर आर नो facilities, then how we can think that parents will send their children to school? So therefore, you will find there are many disabled persons. There are many persons who has already crossed their age. Like suppose a person, suppose a कोई 74, 75 के है, they cannot go to the formal school. So they are also getting education through NIOS, National Institute of Open Schooling, where your learners are also studying. So there are many time where the child or the elder members, they want to upgrade their qualification. So in that case, they also come to NIOS, because after some age, a person hesitate to go to the formal school system. But if they can get education with open schooling, they can, because open schooling provides the anywhere learning opportunity, anytime anywhere आप कभी भी पढ़ सकते हैं. You got education as 24/7. जैसा आप देखिए अभी कोविड-19 सिचुएशन में जहाँ पे फॉर्मल स्कूल वहाँ पे खुला नहीं है, वहाँ पे देखिए स्वयं प्रभा स्वयं के थ्रू आप पढ़ रहे हैं. So not only open schooling, but there are so many open schooling provides for the NIS student, NIS provides for the open school learner. But if you look at the formal school setup, you'll find that NCERT is also providing. But you know, open schooling is playing a very vibrant role in developing literacy and numeracy and upgrading the education qualification of the people. Like you can say there are many army jawans, they are also getting education through open schooling. You can talk about the deaf and hard of hearing population. There are 70 lakh deaf and hard of hearing population. But you know, throughout years they did not have access to sign language. As Odia is my language, Bengali is someone's language, Hindi is someone's language, their language is sign language. But throughout years they did not get opportunity to study in their own language. So in that case, NIS has also started providing education through sign language. We are developing sign language video at the secondary level. We are also planning to develop video at the senior secondary level. So here open schooling play a very vibrant role in educating those who are not able to get education through formal school education. Similarly, there are so many high quality students, their IQ is very high. But when they go to formal school, the teacher deals with them in the same manner as the teacher deals with the other group of learners. So what happened that suppose एक जो लड़का या लड़की जो 2 घंटे में जो पढ़ सकते हैं, they have to wait for like 8 hours of schooling every day. So in that extent, open schooling play a very vibrant role, where if a person has high Q and he has the self-learning style, then he can get education through NIOS. So it has played a very massive role. Similarly, role open schooling also ensures quality schooling. There are many schools throughout the country where there is no quality teachers. If the teachers are there, they are engaged in non-teaching job. Like they do census, they do COVID-19 duty, they do number of duties. So in that case, what happens? The teacher is not able to deliver the quality content. But through NIOS, where you might have seen throughout last 4 months how NIOS is inviting quality experts who deliver quality education. So in that way, the goal of quality education is also served through open schooling. So every year we have around 5.5 lakhs on average, they get enrolled through secondary, senior secondary and open batch education program of NIOS, and they also get education. So we can say that role of open schooling play a very vibrant role in access, equity and quality issue. Similarly, if you will find the many scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, they are also getting education through open schooling, because NIS provides anytime, anywhere flexible education where the student can enroll at any point of time and they can get education. NIS also on-demand examination system where the student can also enroll themselves and appear examinations at any point of time. Dear learners, hope you are able to understand how illiteracy is a social problem for the country. And as I will say, if you can make a comparison between 5 illiterate population and 5 literate population, that means, and what I have studied, what is their level of understanding about their rights and duties, what is the basic understandings about health and literacy, what is the basic understanding about healthcare system. So we can able to gauge the difference how education and literacy and development are related to each other, and how why it is being said that the topmost issue for the country to resolve out. Now we'll discuss about population explosion. How population explosion is a serious issue about for the country. Why? What is population explosion? It is a rapid growth of population. It reveals increase in population at an alarming rate. It occurs due to rapid fall in death rate without corresponding fall in birth rate. There are three stages of population growth. The stage 1 is where both birth rate and death rate is high. Why both are high? Because lack of education and prevalence of traditional norm result in high birth rate. Lack of medical facilities due to leads to high death rate. आप देखिए पहले ज़माने में कुछ होता था, लोग क्या करते थे, दे went for the spiritual path. नहीं, सब ठीक हो जाएगा, सब ठीक हो जाएगा. Instead they go to the medical facilities. Instead they avail medical facilities. और उस समय ये भी था medical facilities था ही नहीं. So in that case both birth rate and death rate is high because lack of medical facilities, because of even the medical facilities is there, it is far of distance. Like आप अभी भी ट्राइबल एरिया में जाएंगे तो देखेंगे बहुत सारा जो they have to cross through rivers to reach the medical in the nearby areas. So that is stage 1. Stage 2, death rate is low and birth rate is high. Industrialization, no doubt industrialization helped to improve the medical infrastructure, medical health. So that resulted in the decrease in death rate. But the attitude towards change of family remain the same, leading to high birth rate. अभी भी आप बहुत सारी जगह में जाइए, देखिए वहाँ पे जो रेट ऑफ आप पर फैमिली आप देखेंगे, उनका जो फैमिली मेम्बर्स दैट इज़ वेरी मच हाई. तो उनको यही लगता है कि नहीं कल कोई होना चाहिए, सपोज पहला या दूसरा का कुछ होता है तो एटलीस्ट तो एक तो रहेगा जो हु कैन डू द रिचुअल्स, डेथ रिचुअल्स, बर्थ रिचुअल्स, ऑल रिचुअल्स ऑफ द होम. सो दैट इज also one attitude that has where India is now in the stage 2. If like a stage is both birth rate and death rate declines due to education and adoption of birth control. Now we'll talk about what is India's population, where we stand now. It has jumped to 1.21 billion, showing an increase by more than 181 million during the 2001 and 2011 decade. आप देखिए द लास्ट 10 साल में हमने 181 मिलियन पॉपुलेशन को ऐड कर चुके हैं. हमारी पॉपुलेशन इज़ कंबाइंड टू आप यूएस, इंडोनेशिया, ब्राज़ील, पाकिस्तान, बांग्लादेश और जापान पॉपुलेशन पूरा मिला के जितना पॉपुलेशन होगा, इट इज़ इंडियाज़ पॉपुलेशन. सो इफ आर सेइंग दैट देयर आर डेवलपिंग द कंट्रीज लाइक यूएस, Japan, they are much higher than India in terms of economic indicator and development indicator, because it is a population, because they have more resources and less population compared to India. Now I'll talk about the rural urban composition of population. Composition क्या है? If you look at 2001 census, there's only 102.9 crore population. But in 2011 it was 121 crore population. So it is addition of 18.1 crore population in last 10 years. If you look about urban population, it was 28.6 crore and 37.7% in 37.7 crore in 2011. So for the first time in the history, this is the first census where urban population added more population than the rural areas. We have 9.1 crore population added in last 2001 to 2011, while in rural population it was 9.0 crore population. So you can say that how the urban population is growing, where more than 70% of area of the country contributes 9.0 population, 9.00 crore population, only 30% of area of the country adds 9.1 crore. Why it is happening? Just think about. Now from here you can see the database. You see in 1901 it was like 89% population rural areas and 11% only the urban areas. In 1951 it was 17.3 population in urban areas and 83% in rural areas. But if you look at, you just look at 2011 census, you will find out there are 68.2% in 68.8% in rural area and 31.2 population in the urban area. You must have seen in the during COVID-19 situation how people in metro cities they are in the railway station, they are in the bus stop, how to go because they want to go to their homeland. So if you have seen these peaks images, you can able to figure out how much population explosion is a crisis for the country and how people are migrating to urban areas. So what are the causes of population explosion? One is illiteracy, one is preferences for son, one is poverty, one is lack of awareness. As I told you, see the illiteracy, the cause of illiteracy is population explosion, the cause of population explosion is the illiteracy. Both are cause and effect to each other. We cannot separate illiteracy from population explosion and population explosion from the illiteracy. So here you can able to think why literacy is much more essential for the population growth, reducing population growth. If you look at national total fertility rate, it has came down from 5.2 in 1971 to 1981 period, from 33.6 to 2.2 in 1991 to 2017. You just make a comparison between the 1971, 1981, 1991 to 2. So there is a gap 4.5 to 2.2%. What is total fertility rate? It is the average number of children expected to be born per woman during her entire reproduction span 15 to 49. जो 15 to 49 एज ग्रुप में जो महिलाएं होते हैं उन कितना मतलब हाउ मच चिल्ड्रेन दे given birth. So you can simply look at the Bihar. So Bihar reported the highest total fertility rate 3.2, about twice that of Kerala 1.17. इसका मतलब ये है एक महिला के पास कितना बच्चे हैं, मतलब it is 1.7% in case of Kerala, but it is 3.2 in case of Bihar. So if we make a comparison between different states where the population is higher and the population is lower, you can make a comparison, like you can take top 5 literate state and bottom 5 literate state. So from there you can figure out what is the total fertility rate. So from there you can able to figure out the literacy is much more essential. Literacy is much more related to the population growth of the country. If you look at the country's family size, you will find that is posted by 7 of India's most populous states. EFR remains above 2.1. Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand are the laggards with family size higher than 2.5. You see 2.1 per woman and 2.5 per woman, that is a huge difference. If just count 0.4 difference between number of populations, so population is growing higher. What is happening? The literate woman is much more health conscious, the literate woman is much more conscious about the future of children. So you know, the more children you have, the less resources, the more resources you have to invest on. Suppose एक पेरेंट्स के पास इतना रिसोर्सेस है नहीं, उनके पास घर में 3-4 बच्चे हैं, तो क्या होगा, तो वो बढ़ जाएगा ऑटोमेटिक. So the literacy rate and population as growth is much more essential. As I told you, preferences for son is also one of the कॉजेस पॉपुलेशन एक्सप्लोजन। आप इससे बहुत सारे फैमिली में जाएंगे कि देखेंगे जब तक एक लड़की, दो लड़के, तीन लड़की, they want that sun has to be there because sun is much more essential for doing all kind of rituals in the family. So therefore they always, most of them go for preferences for sun. Still we have the patriarchal mindset saying that no, we should have family. So therefore you can find that the PNDT Act came into being where they cannot do any kind of sexual determination before birth of the child. But still it is, although rule says that it cannot be, but still it is going on. So therefore you will find the sex ratio is very much less in case of states like Haryana, Punjab, so many states. Like, so preferences for son is also one of kind of causes of population explosion. Similarly, lack of awareness, as I told you. So what are the consequences of population explosion? Lack of shelter. You can make a visit to different parts of Delhi. You will be see that like some of them they are taking shelter behind the metro, near the metro. Some of them will find near any kind of bridge construction. So you can lack of shelter is a major issue. We will find that there are, because why government is no doubt government is doing a lot to address these issues. But if the population grows like anything, what government can do? Suppose you will see that after some time there are millions of persons they migrate from rural area to urban area. So in that case what government will do? So the lack of shelter is the major consequences that you see. Then landlessness. See, the population is increasing but the land is not increasing in that manner. Otherwise the land is decreasing. Because there are, the road construction is going on, the road metros are running, then there are many corporate houses, they also want to grab this land to have industries. So land is decreasing but population is increasing. So in that case what is happening, where there are 2 to 3 brothers and sisters, so the land get divided between all of them. So landlessness is the major causes. Poverty is also one of the consequences of population explosion that we'll discuss when we'll discuss about poverty. I've already discussed about illiteracy, how it is a social problem. Now low standard of living. जैसे population आपके पास ज़्यादा है तो आप क्या होगा, वहाँ standard of living automatic कम हो जाएगा. So person will not get adequate food, adequate nutrition. So that will lead to illness and then that will lead to death. So then it leads to unemployment. You'll see now unemployment is the major crisis of the country, because why? The population is exploding like anything. So malnutrition is also one other reason, and the growing migration and crimes also one of the major things happening in the country. Like as I told you, in case of COVID-19 situation, if you have gone through the media, TV, newspaper, you might have seen that there are millions of laborers were waiting in the bus stop, waiting in the railway station that they will go to their own state. So let us take a break here, and afterwards we'll discuss more about population explosion and social issues, then poverty and then corruption. Thank you.
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने,
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने,
अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो,
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
मित्रों हम उठे और जागे,
मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने हम, अपना जीवन स्वयं बने हम, अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय का है द्वार खुला सबकी खातिर।
शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर।
शिक्षा और परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर। दुनिया में इसके केंद्र बात,
कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने हम, अपना जीवन स्वयं बने हम, अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने हम, स्वयं बने हम,
Yeah, as I told you, population explosion, different consequences like lack of shelter, landlessness, poverty, illiteracy, low standard of living, unemployment, malnutrition, undernourishment, growing migration, and crimes. As I told you, large families have greater problems for housing and homestead landless. As I told you, if there are more number of children, so it will automatically be divided between both of them. So landlessness result in poverty, and poverty increases illiteracy because poor families send their children to work instead of sending them to school. Population problem is also causes health, because if you have more population, then automatically there is, because I told you the number of health facilities also decreasing year by year. So like if the, no doubt we have number of hospitals, we have number of health facilities, but at the par of the way population is increasing, there is a need of more and more health facilities, and which is not. A study based on census 2001 estimated that India has roughly 20 health workers per 10,000 population, with allopathic doctors comprising 31% workforce, nurses and midwives, 30% pharmacists, 11% Ayush practitioner, 9% and other 9%. As per census, India has 45.6 crore migrants in 2011, which contributes 30% population compared to 31.5 crore migrants in 2001. So that is 31%. So between 2001 and 2011, while population grew by 18%, the number of migrants increased by 45%. So as the government of India has done a lot, like we have Atmanirbhar schemes where government has spent a lot on that, where the person, those who are in rural areas, if they have some kind of skill, they can also get self-employment. Similarly, government has also done skill development programs which has enough potential to make many people skilled so that they can contribute to the labor force of the country. So now the time has to think about how to have more and more income in the rural areas so that they don't get migrated to their urban areas. Now we'll discuss about corruption as an evil practices, how corruption is a major social issue for the country. Corruption is an act by someone who is ready to do dishonest and illegal things in return of money or for something else they want or behave in a way what is considered morally wrong. Throughout years, India has cherished honesty, morality, and also high values from time immemorial. With the passage of time and fast socioeconomic changes in the country, corruption has affected all walks of life. Now we can discuss about the different manifestation of corruption, like what are social form of corruption, what is the administrative form of corruption, what is the bureaucratic form of corruption. The practice of nepotism, favoritism, dowry, dishonesty, immorality, and fratricide, etc. are the social form of corruption. I think you might have gone through the issues of nepotism since last one. There are number of issues. There are papers, there are newspapers, the media all talks about nepotism, and really it is one of the major form of corruption where the talent persons are not getting adequate employment out of it. Then administrative form of corruption are payment of illegal gratification for getting work done in offices, making money from misuse of office and power to contest election. You might have seen that in many elections, criminals are being used to win, to help them to win elections. There are many lobbies are going on so that they get party tickets. These are called the political form of corruption. There is a bureaucratic form of corruption like taking bribe, commission for getting fund sanction, looting the public money with the traders. So अब देखे होंगे बहुत सारे न्यूज़पेपर में ऐसा आता है कि इसको विजिलेंस ने पकड़ लिया क्योंकि वो ब्रिज ठीक से बना नहीं है, ब्रिज का कंस्ट्रक्शन ठीक से नहीं है. तो these are also the bureaucratic form of corruption. Then educational corruption, like you might have seen that. Dear learners, till now discuss about different forms of corruption. Now discuss about educational corruption. Admission and donation, free certificate, degree, diploma and certificate, mass copying, leak of question papers, bribing examiners, supply of answer materials from outside are all kinds of cheating. Now we'll discuss about professional form of corruption like smuggling, black marketing, hoarding, profiteering, food adulteration, production of duplicate items. So these are called professional corruption, forms of corruption. We now will discuss about causes of corruption. Why corruption is happening? To make illegal things legal on the basis of bribe or commission, to acquire more and more health and consumer goods. We always, इससे बहुत सारे लोगों को होता है कि जॉब होने के बाद उनको दे हैव हाई एस्पिरेशन, दे विल हैव गाड़ी, बंगला एंड एवरीथिंग. सो फॉर दैट दे आल्सो डू करप्शन. जैसे एक एम्प्लॉय को देखते हैं उनका दे गॉट मोर एंड मोर इनकम एंड समवन इज नॉट गेटिंग. सो इन दैट केस इट आल्सो हैपेंस लाइक बिकॉज दे वांट टू have more and enhance their status, they also do corruption. And to pay dowry, that is the biggest form of corruption. We have found that if a person do the job, he or she has always the aspiration that if my son or daughter will get married, they will get married to a person who is in higher status. So the dowry is also main reason of corruption. Like then to meet expenditure on technical and higher education of children, people also get. Then if they want to collect money for fighting election, the corruption also happens. Now we'll discuss about poverty, because poverty is a major factor for which we are struggling throughout years. Like what is called poverty? It is a condition of an individual in which his income is so low that he is unable to feed or provide shelter for himself and his family members. Those who don't have such income are called poor. Why urban poverty is there? Urban poverty is the result of migration of rural people to urban areas for work and wages. They live in slum areas in unhygienic conditions. Rapid unemployment is also responsible for urban poverty. What are the indicators of national poverty lines? Are fixed in every 5 to 10 years time period. If you found in 2004-5 it was The indicator was that if a person has the monthly income of 446 rupees, then he is considered as poor, and it isn't. 2011-12 it is 816, and for urban age it was 1000 rupees income. If you look at the rural and urban share of poverty, you will find that in 1993 it was 51%, but it has decreased to 25.7% in 2011-12. And in urban area it was 31.8% in 1993, but it is 13.7% in case of 2011 and 12. That means the country's effort in terms of improving education, improving gender status, improving social status through different schemes and programs has really helped the country to reduce the poverty in the country, so that more and more people get better environment and better livelihood. Now we'll discuss about the causes of poverty one by one. In our society, scheduled caste occupies the lowest position, the denied position in property, so they remain poor for centuries, generation after generation. No doubt, Government of India has also had programs where they can acquire land through some provisions, but still there are many, they have not got that opportunity and they are landless. And if they are landless, you can imagine they work for wages, they work for sometimes when they did not get an opportunity in the rural areas, they migrate to other part or urban areas, they migrate to town so that they can have some employment there. So if you compare the data, you will find that there is 64% of rural scheduled caste in Bihar are below poverty line against only 2.2% of general group of population in Punjab. सोचिए पंजाब का general group population, that is the poverty is there is only 2.2% and 64% in case of rural areas in Bihar. So there is a gap of 62.2% between rural areas in Bihar and the general group of population in Punjab. So we can make a comparison why a state is not progressing compared to the state, other states. Now we can discuss about the percentage population below poverty line by social group at 2004-5 census. If you look at the other group of general group, the below poverty line is only 16.1%, but in case of scheduled caste in rural area it is 36.8%. The gap is more than 20% between urban area and between SCs in rural area and the general group population in the urban area, in the rural areas. So you can find out from the data, that means how the social group, the social distance, the untouchability and different discriminatory social practices are the main reasons between of poverty between a general group population and scheduled caste population. So that is the things. So dear learners, you can also make a comparison in your state how the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBC and other group population fare in poverty index in both urban and rural areas in compared to the Indian and to the country. There are social causes like heavy expenditure and performance of social custom, tradition, rituals also make many persons poor. If you can make a survey, you will find out that many of the people in rural areas, they took loan from the bank or they took loan from the self-help group in their area because they either they have to attend someone's rituals, they don't have sufficient income, but they want to show that they can pay much more than the other person. So in that case, what happened that they spend much amount. And in India, we'll have there are many rituals where namkaran bhi hota hai. Then from the birth of the child till the not only the birth, even the woman is pregnant, from that period till the death of a person, we have rituals throughout years, like in every. So in that case, what is happening? Even there is rituals that they have to, जैसे आपका गांव में होगा, आप देखे होंगे बहुत सारे लोग, they have to serve food to many people in their area. So in that case, what is even the person is very poor, but they took loan from the bank or the landlord, then they spend the expenditure on the performance. People also sell their land and property to pay dowry and perform death rituals. There are also economic causes like unequal distribution of land, unemployment, low wages, and indebtedness. As I told you, like there are landlessness also regionally. You can find in the, if you'll go by the data, you'll find out there are many people they have enough land where they can feed thousands of population, but there are people those who are landless in the country. So the gap between landless and the landful person, so that divides poverty. Then unemployment, low wages, and low wages also the major reason. If you look at the data, you'll find that एक महिला जो काम कर रहे हैं वही काम एक पुरुष भी कर रहे थे, लेकिन वहाँ पे देखिए उनका वेज गैप भी होता है. So here suppose there are independent women, they don't have, there is no male person in their family, but they are earning less wages than the male counterpart from other family. There are also political causes, like throughout years there are many schemes and programs which aimed at eradicating poverty in the country, but it was found that the policies were not implemented properly. Then in the earlier time, there were rural and cottage industries where both male and female in a particular family were able to do the work, and so you'll find that if you'll find by data, you'll find female labor force participation was much higher during 1970s now. Because what is happening when the industries, the rural industries are there, you have something to do in your home, then both male and female can contribute. But if a person has to go out, in case of that, women, they say that women cannot go out. महिलाएं जा नहीं सकते बाहर because there are social restrictions. So due to social restriction, they are not able to go out. But when there was cottage industries, both male and female were able to work, and they are able to get better income out of that. Similar lack of proper marketing system also. अभी भी आप देखिए ट्राइबल एरिया में they have best production, but there is no mechanism where their market produce can be sold, can come to the town and they can be sold. So वहाँ पे क्या होता है, जो प्राइवेट लोग होते हैं, they grab them, they exploit them, they buy the market price at very small rate, so they are not getting proper इनकम आउट ऑफ दैट. जब भी उनको लगता है हम ज़्यादा पैसा खर्च किए और पैसा हमें मिला नहीं, तो वहाँ पे क्या होगा. आप देखे होंगे एक टाइम आता है जहाँ पे ऐसे टमाटो लोग फेंकते हैं, जैसे टमाटो या कैबेज जैसे फेंकते हैं, जैसे लगता है कि सो व्हाई फार्मर सुसाइड इज देयर, बिकॉज दे स्पेंड देयर होल अमाउंट ऑन पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट, वो लेकिन वो बेच ही नहीं पाए. दे डिड नॉट गेट द एक्चुअल प्रोड्यूस आउट ऑफ इट, दे डिड नॉट गेट मार्केट कॉस्ट आउट ऑफ इट. समवेयर political causes is also responsible for the poverty. As I told you, migration is also a very important thing. Like it has created slum area in towns and cities. Some dwellers don't have proper house and sanitation. They live in unhygienic condition. This affects their health, which ultimately causes poverty. अब देखिए जब एक रूरल एरिया से माइग्रेटेड होकर अर्बन एरिया में आते हैं, so they face lot of issues. The first issue is that government has done massive for the particular person in that area. There is a school, there is a health facilities, everything is there. But when he migrates to the urban area, so he is not able to get all these opportunities. तो क्या होता है वहाँ पे अपॉर्चुनिटी और कोई ले लेता है. जैसे आपको राशन वहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट का प्रोविजन राशन मिलने के लिए, बट राशन उसको मिलता नहीं है, तो वहाँ पे सो इट माइग्रेशन कॉजेस lot of issues for the poverty also. The religious belief also one of the reason for poverty. Religious beliefs practices also adds to poverty in the country. As I told you, जैसे श्राद्ध होता है या मैरिज होता है, उसमें they spend lots of amount on that. Even they take loans at the higher rate of interest from the money lenders. जैसे आप पुराना मूवी देखेंगे तो पुराना मूवी क्या दिखाया जाता है, उसमें लैंडलॉर्ड हो गए, वहाँ पे लैंडलॉर्ड उसको लेबर सिस्टम भी है, उनको काम कराते हैं, they not get because illiteracy is there and both. So you can find that. You can also find that. Then natural calamities, like India is a country where you will find that flood, cyclone, earthquake happens at any point of time. You'll find that in Gujarat, sometime you'll find that the flood is in Kerala, sometime you'll find flood in Odisha, sometime in West Bengal, sometimes in Gujarat. So when it all happens, so government also spend all this amount on the natural calamities. So that is also reason. If you'll ask why Odisha is a poor state, no doubt it is its literacy rate is improving, its economical status is improving, its political governance is increasing. But why it is still counted as one of the states which has high poverty rate? You see, in 1999 there is super cyclone. In 2013 it was Falin. In 2014 it was Falin. In 2018 it was Titli. 2019 is Fani, and 2020 is Amphan. So if every year there is massive, if suppose हर साल ऐसे ही massive destruction होगा due to rain, due to cyclone, तो क्या होगा वहाँ पे? So government is spending a lot of amount on the development of infrastructure, but after a year you will find that the same thing happens, and where whatever infrastructure is there, that has already got destruction. So natural calamity is also one of the reason for which poverty is there. Now you can see how now COVID-19 situation is there. No one has expected COVID-19 situation will be there, but जब आया तो क्या government has, yeah, as I told you, cyclones, floods, and different natural calamities also affecting the poverty of the country. Therefore, poverty, no doubt government is spending a lot of infrastructure on developing and reducing the poverty rate, developing the country and reducing poverty rate. But if it's still found that the country is not developing in that way, because every year we have, like as I told the case of Odisha, where cyclone is happening every year. So even the government is spending a lot on improving it in its infrastructure, but poverty is still there. Similarly, we can take a case of COVID-19 situation. आप देखिए किसको नहीं पता था COVID-19 आएगा and it will affect in a huge scale. तो उसमें क्या हुआ? All of a sudden government has to spend all amount on the developing health infrastructure. Suppose वही पैसा education में खर्च होता, so that has given a different kind of result. Because we have massive number population, so massive number population को cater करने के लिए आपको health infrastructure होना चाहिए. Then you see there are many people, they are not able to come to industry. They are not able to do work because COVID-19 situation, COVID-19 can happen to anybody because it is a infectious disease. So here natural calamities also contribute for the poverty of the country. Physical causes like disease, illness, physical handicap, these are personal causes of poverty, but they ultimately affect family and society from the viewpoint of poverty. Suppose एक घर में कोई person and he is very much handicapped, so in that case he cannot work. So death system भी होता है. Suppose कोई ट्रैफिक का बहुत बड़ा issue है, ट्रैफिक वजह से भी कोई होगी. If a member commits suicide, then even he is educated and he has lot of potential to have income, then if he is physical damage, he cannot do the work. So physical causes also, there are also physical causes of poverty. As I told, illiteracy leading to poverty. If you have more education, then you can get more employment, and if you are illiterate, you can also be harm to society. A person can be a criminal, a person can be drug addicted, and he does not know about his rights and duties. So illiteracy is also leading to poverty. Population explosion, as I told you, it leads to division of parental property and ultimately causes landless, unemployment, and poverty. Patriarchy means male domination. It is also important factor of poverty in India. People say that if woman does not work to home, if he stays in the home, that is a matter of pride for the country. But so therefore, you will find that there are many female members, they are being withdrawn from work after their marriage, or if before marriage they are also being asked आपको job छोड़ना पड़ेगा. So that is a major things happening also. If you go by data, there are 13% of farmland is owned by women. You just imagine, sir. And the figure is been lower when it comes to lower caste Dalit women who are also single. So that is a major thing. Now the data has come that there are about 12% India's female population is classified single. Those who are either widowed, divorced, separated, and older unmarried women. But if you look at the data, you will find that उसमें only there are only 40% of household headed by women in India don't own land and make a living through casual manual laborer. If you look at the India female labor force participation rate, it has come down now. It was 33% in 1972-73, but if you look at the data now, it is only 17.5%. You just imagine if the rest of the population, women would have been in employment, the employment would have been drastic. They have contributed immensely to the development of the country, and so poverty should not have been there. If you look by another data, it says that women in India currently spend 352 minutes per day on domestic work compared to men, that is 577% more than men. So, men only spend on average 52 minutes on domestic work compared to 352 minutes per day on domestic work. You just imagine if there have been division between both male and women work on domestic sphere, like then the women would have been contributed much for the development of the country. Like, so you will find the data is that the country which has, you will find that the country which has more gender parity in terms of education, in terms of employment, they are contributing more for the development of the country. So I request all of you that you please be active in your education. You also contribute for your education. If you find, since you are also part of an open schooling system, if you found anyone is illiterate, they don't have adequate education, you also support them so that they get education and they also contribute for the development of the country. And second thing, as a sociology faculty or sociology expert, I'll tell you that you please go through the SWAYAM courses of NIOS. You please go through the SWAYAM Prabha recording. If you have any kind of doubt, any kind of feedback, please send to us so that you will be able to resolve these issues for you. We can able to strengthen the learning mechanism for all of you. Thank you all.